After a whirlwind trip to Texas to tour Harvey's damage, President Donald Trump walked off Air Force One in Springfield, Missouri, to tout his economic plans and tax reforms, wanting to, as he says, bring back Main Street to areas throughout the country. So we have in-depth coverage of the president's visit today. Caroline Sweeney spoke to folks who were not so happy the commander-in-chief was in town. But we begin here with our investigative reporter, Emily Sinovic, who was there for the president's speech. Emily?
Yeah, Carolyn, he spoke for about a half an hour, and the majority of the time he was hammering home what he says is a desperate need for tax reform, including major tax cuts.
And I am fully committed to working with Congress to get this job done. And I don't want to be disappointed by Congress. Do you understand me? Do you understand?
Yeah, he got a lot of those standing applauses today. The president chose a manufacturing company as the backdrop for his speech because corporations like Lauren Cook Company here, he says, would benefit big time from the major tax cuts he's pushing today, including chopping the corporate tax rate from 35% to 15%.
Lower taxes on American business means higher wages for American workers, and it means more products made right here in the USA.
Yeah, he got, again, about a dozen standing ovations today, and he also called out Congress, saying they need to get on board and get this job done. Now we turn to Caroline Sweeney, who is also live in Springfield. She has more on protests that happened today. Caroline.
You know, that's right, Emily. The streets of Springfield are quiet now, but earlier today, hundreds of people gathered on these sidewalks to tell President Trump that not everyone here is happy.
Tell me what democracy sounds like!
Some came to shout, others to stand quietly, but people here in Springfield wanted the president to know they were here.
I like the way Trump does things. He speaks his mind, speaks up how he feels about stuff, and I think every president should be like that.
Blake and his friend drove almost 2 hours north from Arkansas to hopefully see the president's motorcade. Last November was the first time the 19-year-old stepped into a voting booth. Down the street, another 19-year-old had something else to say to President Trump.
We wanted to protest Trump and everything he stands for, and basically, yeah, we wanted to exercise our right to protest.
Marshall and her friends joined the crowd of anti-Trump demonstrators several blocks from the plant where the president talked about tax reform. She says the president's comments about Hillary Clinton spurred her to be more politically active.
Now, as we were walking around today, we actually didn't run into a whole lot of people who were out here to talk about tax reform. Coming up on KCTV 5 News at 5 o'clock, find out why that might be. But for now, that's all for us live in Springfield. Caroline Sweeney out here. Caroline, back to you in Kansas City.
All right. Thank you, Caroline. Now, our coverage doesn't end here. If you would like to see President Trump's full speech, you can go to KCTV 5's mobile app, see the raw video of his rally today there in Springfield.